What's going on, Stim Junkies? High-stim Ace here, and yes, this is officially the final video of 2025. We are waving the year goodbye, we are ushering in 2026, and we are going to do it better than ever. And guys, before we get into this video here, don't forget to like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell notification to get all of High-stim Ace's latest updates. This is my 5th video here in a series of the top 2025 lists. If you guys haven't seen the other videos, we did daily drivers, we did medium stim, we did fat burners, and we did a very special video culminating in my top supplements of 2025. So all those videos are available at the playlist. Make sure to click it and check out those videos. With that being said, we are going to go over the top 15 high-stim pre-workouts of 2025. And I really try to narrow it down. I really try to bring it down to 10, but I couldn't do it. High-stim Ace couldn't do it, guys. Honestly, I could have put 30 pre-workouts on here easily, and you guys know that last year I did the top 24 pre-workouts of 2024, but never again. The amount of work I put into that video was freaking bonkers, so I managed somehow to narrow it down to 15 pre-workouts. Let's not waste any more time. Let's roll that freaking intro for the final time in 2025, and we're going to come back and do the top high-stim pre-workouts of 2025. Let's get to it. Alright guys, so this list here is in no particular order except for the final 5 pre-workouts. Those will be in order. Those are going to be my top 5 favorites in that order. We are going to start at the bottom and work our way to the top, but every other pre-workout on this list, meaning the other 10 that are not on the top 5, they are in no particular order. They are all amazing and they all earn and deserve a spot on this list. With that being said, we are going to begin with the first one, and this one here is Kilo Labs 6. Yeah, guys, Kilo Lab 6 was really an amazing pre-workout, and I'll be honest, I haven't ran it in about 5 months, and I remember the experience being immaculate when I ran it, so I made sure to run it today, and I'm actually feeling the after effects right now. It hits just as good as that very first time. This one here definitely reads like a stim junkie label. I would probably put it more in the medium to high stim kind of category, but this is just such a good mood elevating, well-balanced type of pre-workout. Great energy, great stamina, amazing floating head high with just this positive feeling, a good nootropic sense of well-being, great pumps, and a nice sense of aggression to tie the package together. So Kilo Lab 6 comes in on this list. Next up, we are going to go a little aggressive with Vices and Vibes Tweak. And this one here is a collaboration with my good friend Garage Gym Homie. Shouts out to the main man himself. He's going to have another pre-workout here on the list as well. But Tweak is a nice little scoop, and you really can mix it in with so many different products, and it creates this really versatile type of experience. It's a tiny scoop. It's got thermogenics. It's got caffeine. It's got alpha-yo. What more else can High-stim Ace ask for? And you guys are going to see on my top 5, you're probably going to be expecting me to go with a lot of DMHA pre-workouts, but you're going to see the pendulum has swung in 2025, and High-stim Ace is all about the alpha-yo hitters, as well as a couple of other hybrids, but more about that in a little bit later. Tweak is an amazing experience. It's a 10-gram scoop, super light, but man, this one freaking kicks your ass. Thermogenics, energy, you feel hopped up, you feel great. You could stack it with any pump formula, and you're going to have one hell of an amazing experience. And up next, we have a pre-workout that's made it on this list every year so far, and this is a consistent staple, and they've been adding new flavors and making different types of collaborations. And what I'm talking about, of course, is Extremist Cartel El Hefe. They released 2 limited editions, one being Neuro, which did make it on my medium stim list, and the Fuego, which was freaking insane. And I was kind of debating whether I wanted to put the OG El Jefe or Fuego here in this spot, but I decided to go with the original because it is more well-balanced. It's something I could see myself returning to far more often than Fuego, which is a very intense, over-the-top experience, even a little bit too much for High-stim Ace if I'm being honest, but I guess you could consider Fuego to have an honorary spot on this list, but the original El Jefe, still the king, from Extremist Cartel. Next up, we have a super illicit hitter and one that is very controversial. And this one here is Kill Switch by Death Row Formulations. Now, Kill Switch affects everybody differently, and I guess you could say that about a lot of illicit types of pre-workouts, but this one in particularly really tore the community apart, and people were split, whether they loved this pre-workout and called it the greatest thing since Craze, or other people that said it did absolutely nothing and was complete bunk. I lean in the first camp, but obviously I think there are better products than this one. However, this is one I really enjoy because of its unique nature. It gives you an amazing mood elevation, this great confidence, and a super clear-headed focus, bordering on the illicit, but not quite there. The endurance and stamina on this thing is endless. I can keep pushing and pushing and pushing, and as long as my injuries aren't flaring up, then I can keep going for 2.5, 3 hours, no problem. The only critique about this product is that it doesn't really give you a push of energy. So what I like to do personally is stack it with an Alpha Yo capsule, and that solves all the issues. But this is an amazing product that even at half a dose, you can mix in with other stronger pre-workouts, and it's going to add that special type of feeling that only Kill Switch can provide. So definitely earning itself a spot here on the 2025 list. Next up, we have Performix Labs Hyper Maxed Out, and I can only speak for that very first batch, the one with the tiger on the cover, because they released 2 other tubs, and I heard mixed reviews. Some people said it's good, some people said it's not as good, other people said it's complete bunk. I don't know, guys, but I do know that that first tub, the one with the tiger, is an incredible experience. It's a perfect culmination of aggression and mood elevation, but not the happy, dancy kind of mood elevation, an aggressive, focus, dialed in, get shit done kind of mood elevation. And it builds up slowly over 40, 45 minutes, so it's not going to smack you right off the bat to the point where you don't know what to do with yourself, but it's going to build nicely. And before you know it, you're in the gym for 2 hours, you're sweating, you're hopped the hell up, you are stimmed the hell out, and you're having an amazing time while you're pushing those weights. Next up on the list is yet another aggressive pre-workout, and this one here is Legit Pre by Legit Farm. Now, when the first version came out about a year and a half ago or so, I take credit for discovering it and putting it on the map, and my review comparing it to the original DMAA Crack Purple really got people talking, and then everybody else tried it out and agreed with me that it was a very special and unique pre-workout, the last of a dying breed. And unfortunately, due to unforeseen circumstances, they did have to reformulate. They had to take out the geranium extract, which was really well sourced, and people were unhappy, people were complaining as usual, but they proved all the naysayers wrong. They did an amazing job, and even with the reformulation, the 2-amino they put in instead of the geranium was freaking incredible, super potent, pure quality, and they added some Alpha-Yo, which really gave it a crazy sense of aggression. It was a perfect mix of euphoric, aggressive, get shit done, no nonsense, definitely stronger than the first formula. I still prefer the original formula a little bit better because those particular products are really a dime a dozen, and they are very special. But this one here was an amazing improvement in certain aspects. It did make it a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more strength output, but the mood and the focus and the euphoria was definitely lessened. Overall, an amazing product and definitely a worthy successor to that first version. And up next, we have a collaboration between Project M Supplements and Castle Cartel, and they brought us this amazing hitter all the way from Australia, Judgement Day. Yeah, guys, the label was pretty crazy, and even the flavor name, they only had one flavor at the time, Demon Semen, absolutely insane. But I'll tell you what, guys, it tasted pretty damn good. It was a strawberry daiquiri kind of flavor, and the very first time I took it, I was blown away by how much I love this product. Literally, the very first time I took it, and it was probably like 6-7 months ago at this point, I already knew right then and there that this pre-workout would make it on my top lists of the year, because the good head high that you get with it, it's this floaty kind of head high that just uplifts you. It almost feels like your head is floating off of your shoulders, and it balanced everything out perfectly. First of all, amazing pumps. You're swole and you're hitting rep after rep after rep and set after set after set, and you're looking great while you're doing it, but you're also feeling really floaty, really focused, really motivated and determined. Just an amazing, well-balanced Stim Junkie package, not too over the top in the sense of aggression. It's definitely toned down from some of those other crazy Alpha-Yo hitters, but it just balanced everything out so nicely, and it was an amazing experience. The only downside is that after a couple of months, it clumped up pretty badly, and I had to throw it out. It was just past the point of being salvageable, but it is what it is, guys. It's an amazing product, and I think the new version fixed the clumping issues, so definitely excited to re-review that one in the near future. Next up on the list, we have the return of Time Cop by Apollo Nutrition, and this one here is version 4. Now, I loved version 3. I was actually the only reviewer on YouTube that reviewed version 3, purchased it myself from Natural Body. I think that is the name of the shop because they had some sort of arrangement with Apollo Nutrition. They were the only exclusive distributor, and I really liked version 3. It was really, really good, and people slept on that pre-workout in 2024. Now, in 2025, we got the reformulation. Time Cop came back stronger than ever, really putting an emphasis on that nootropic focus, but bordering on a high. Like nootropic to the point where you feel like you're hopped up, literally feels like there's 2 amino in here when there isn't. Fully compliant, but a crazy blend of nootropics and aggressive ingredients such as alpha-O, and you have the caffeine in here, obviously, and also a crazy, insane pump package. So you're swole, you're juicy, you're hopped the hell up, you're stimmed out, but you're also feeling amazing, and the nootropic effect literally lasts for the rest of the day. This is an amazing pre-workout that stays with you for hours post-training, and Apollo Nutrition really did it justice with version 4. Now, we can't have any Stim Junkie list without KJ Labs, and this right here is their original, their first pre-workout, Smash AMF. And I gotta say that taking Smash AMF last week was just as good and just as insane as that first time I ran it. Now, the recent batches have been a little bit toned down, but when I say a little bit, I literally mean like 10-15%, okay? It's not like it's been toned down by 50-60%. Just a tiny, tiny drop off from that original batch, but this thing freaking fires on all cylinders. In a way, I actually prefer it because when I reviewed the newer batch, it wasn't quite as crazy, so whereas the first time I ran the OG formula at about 7-8 grams, and that to me was already bordering on being insane, this new version, I could run at 12 to 13 grams, and you're getting 30 servings per container. This thing is filled to the brim, so you can mix it with a pump formula, and it just adds this otherworldly focus. It's a very interesting experience because when you're pumping the iron, you are focused, you are laser sharp, dialed in. But then when you're on your rest set for that minute, minute and a half, whatever it is, you're going to zone out and you're just going to start wandering about things. I don't know. This is a crazy experience, but definitely one that has to be on this list. I know not everybody will like it, not everybody will vibe with it, but definitely reminiscent of those old school pre-workouts that aren't super accessible in this day and age anymore. So Smash AMF, KJ Labs, earning itself a spot on the list. Now, speaking of bunker formulas that really feel like those old types of pre-workouts, we can't have the list without Hyper Power by Core Labs. Now, this one here came to us from our good friends over at high-stim-preworkout.com, and I do believe the website is currently under maintenance, but he had a lot of different types of pre-workouts on there, a lot of illicit products that I actually wanted to add to this list, but if I would have added them to the list, it would have brought up the list to 20 pre-workouts, and I'm not doing 20 pre-workouts, okay? 15 is already more than enough. But out of all the pre-workouts from that website that I really enjoyed, such as Hyperdose, Game On, Venom, and a couple of other ones that I really like. They're all very, very similar. They all have like little nuances that differentiate them from one another. But Hyperpower to me really felt the most unique out of all the pre-workouts. So I personally like Hyperdose a little bit more because that one to me is more euphoric and hits every single time. But Hyperpower, just like Smash AMF, there's something in there that's definitely either off-label or disguised as something else. It just hits in a very different way, and it's hard to explain. It's almost like your head is floating off of your shoulders, but there's a euphoria that comes with it, but also like this crazy illicit tunnel vision focus and endless, boundless stamina. And one moment you're aggressive, one moment you're euphoric, and you just feel dialed in. It's a crazy experience. It's not a pre-workout I would run more than once or twice a month, but when I do it, it is definitely something special, and the experience lasts for the entire day. All right, guys, so now we are officially up to the top 5 pre-workouts of 2025. The other 10 were amazing, but these 5 here are going to be ranked in order, starting at the number 5 spot. And what we have here comes to us from our good friends over in Poland, Dark Labs, and this is their collaboration with my buddy, Garage Gym Homie, for their Manyako pre-workout. Now, Manyako is a very special product because there are only 7 ingredients in here, and it's one of those rare cases where you look at the ingredients panel and everything serves a specific purpose, and you can tell during the training session which ingredient is doing what. So you got the 10 grams of citrulline in there, you got the 4 grams of tyrosine to give you that freaking dialed-in focus, you got the alpha-O, you have the DMHA at a whopping 300 milligrams, and this is that really well-sourced stuff. But besides the fact that that it has a crazy stim package, the 10 grams of citrulline is going to keep everything flowing, so it never gets too overwhelming, but this thing just hits on all cylinders. It is definitely Stim Junkie certified, but I've even given the full dose to friends of mine that run nothing more than C4 or a Ghost Energy drink, and every time I offered it to somebody, they always seem to enjoy it. So overall, out of the entire Dark Labs lineup, I think that Manyako is the best. There are other ones that were really good. Dark Labs reformulated a lot of their products this year, and a lot of them really were very good improvements. But for me, I think Manyako is the most consistent, and it's one that I come back to time and time again. At number 4, we have Ronin from Anarchy Labs. Now, Anarchy Labs came back in 2024 with a bang, releasing 6 products on their launch day, and they were all really, really good products. But out of all their pre-workouts, to me, Ronin has always been number 1. It's got stimulants, it's got nootropics, it's got energy output ingredients, performance increasing ingredients. This is a beast of a pre-workout, but it's such a feel-good experience because it just builds slowly over an hour, hour and 15 minutes. So this is something I like to take on a high-stim Saturday where I know I'm in the gym for at least 2 hours and 20 minutes. This thing is going to build and build and build, and you have this amazing head high, but also this motivational energy that doesn't get too overwhelming at any point. There's no side effects of you tweaking or feeling sick or getting shaky or anything like that. No jitters, no droopy nose. This is so perfectly balanced, and it's just an amazing experience all around, which earns it the number 4 spot right here on the list. At number 3, we actually have a newcomer, a pre-workout that I reviewed very, very recently, and this one here is Mr. White Yayo Edition. And of course, it's the Yayo Edition. I really like the original Mr. White that came out about 5 or 6 months ago. Very reminiscent to those original batches of Zeus. If you don't like Alpha Yo, then that is a perfect pre-workout. But guess what, guys? high-stim does like Alpha Yo a lot.
I like it a lot.
So for me, adding the 3 milligrams of Alpha-Yo as well as the other ingredients they added in here, the synephrine and whatnot, this thing just was freaking absolutely insane in the best way possible. I couldn't believe how well this hit me. The very first time I took it was at like 6:30 p.m. after work. I had a long-ass work day, was completely exhausted, had no energy, and I figured, what better time to test this out than right now when I feel like I'm completely dead. Guys, this thing pulled me out of the dead and freaking gave me one of the best workout sessions I had in a very long time. You're going to push through your pain. You might be a little bit hopped up on this one. You might be a little tweaked out, but this is one of those pre-workouts that is pure freaking rocket fuel. It's going to have you going. And the Judgement's Regia that's in here, whether it's really, really well-sourced Judgement's Regia or whether it is actually the synthetic DMHA, it doesn't matter because it hits beautifully. And on top of giving you this aggressive buzz and crazy high-stim energy, you're going to have this nice floaty head high in the background. And it really just works so well together. So you feel positive, you feel good, you feel happy, but you're also there to get shit done and push as much weight as possible. Absolutely amazing, and definitely have the Yayo edition as opposed to the original. All right, guys, we're officially up to the final 2 pre-workouts, my top 2 favorite pre-workouts of 2025. And some people are going to be surprised by this pick because I think I actually put it on my medium stim pre-workouts list last year, but I don't know what it is. I don't know if the recent batches have hit a little bit harder because they did change the tubs recently. So I don't know if the manufacturing's a little different or what it is, but for whatever reason, this pre-workout has just been climbing and climbing and climbing for the last couple of months, and it's officially ended up at the number 2 spot. What we have today is Psychopharma's Edge of Insanity. The feeling I get every time I take this pre-workout is otherworldly, and I don't even have to stack anything on top of this because the pumps are amazing. You're getting a combination of yohimbine, really well-sourced yohimbine, by the way, and super pure and potent Alpha-Yo, and some people are scared by that combination, but not high-stim. I embrace the chaos, and this one here is chaotic, but it's a controlled kind of chaos, because you have the 1 gram of GABA in there, which really kind of smoothens out the experience, really reminds me of the original Dark Energy that also had GABA in there to smoothen out the crazy intensity, although that label was complete insanity and completely, bullshit label. But this one here, being that fact that it is compliant, it doesn't change the fact that it is an amazing freaking pre-workout. Every single time I get this unique high that only comes from this yohimbine and Alpha-Yo mixture, and Every time I have an amazing workout on this one. I really don't know how anyone could take this daily. I wouldn't take GABA daily because you build up a tolerance very quickly. So obviously, if you run this pre-workout regularly, maybe it's not going to hit you as well. But if you run this one twice a week, you limit yourself, you restrain yourself, this thing is going to hit beautifully each and every time. It's a perfect stim junkie experience and one that I will continue coming back to over and over again. At the number 2 spot, Edge of Insanity by Psychopharma. And finally, guys, we have made it to the number 1 spot. Number 1 for high-stim Ace's 2025 Stim Junkie Pre-Workouts list. And what we have here is Wrecked and Raged by Huge Supplements. Did you guys expect anything different? Wrecked and Raged was an absolutely insane upgrade because I had the original Wrecked and Raged or whatever the previous version was, and it was okay. It was decent. I reviewed it about a year and a half ago. It was okay, but it wasn't anything mind-blowing. So when they reformulated to this new Wrecked and Raged, and I saw the label, I got very intrigued because first of all, you have the Araya in here, which Huge Supplements took out of their original Rec pre-workout. A lot of people were unhappy about that, by the way, but they had it in here, and they also added in 3 milligrams of alpha-yo, which is already a lot, but the key component here is that this here is standardized at 98% purity. So pretty much every other form of Rewolski and alpha-yo is standardized at 90%. This one comes in at 98, which is freaking insane. And the very first time I took it, that very first batch, the Blue Ras flavor at 2 scoops was too much for high-stim Ace. It was too freaking much. And the sweet spot for me was 1 to 1 1/4 scoop mixed with a pump formula, preferably pump serum by Huge Supplements because I had the same flavor. And that for me was a great experience. But it wasn't until about a month and a half, 2 months later, during Halloween, they dropped their limited edition Cursed Cotton Candy flavor. And then they also dropped their Christmas Frosty Cranberry flavor. And those seem to have been a little bit nerfed, about 20-25% weaker than that original insane batch. And some people are going to say, oh, they're nerfing the pre-workout. It's not as good. They're taking out what made it special. No, guys. In this case, it was warranted because that original formula was too much. And I'm saying this as a stim junkie. So whatever they did, the current formulation they have for those 2 limited edition flavors, they got it right on the money. So they definitely earned a spot right here on the list at the number 1 spot. You're going to be hopped up on this one. You're going to feel like you're tweaking. You feel like you took something otherworldly, but this label's fully compliant. So it's freaking insane how they managed to do that in 2025. But in terms of aggression, intensity, and drive, and motivation, and just feeling hopped the hell up, bringing you back from the dead, this one here gets the number 1 spot. So congratulations to Huge Supplements, Wrecked and Rage, number 1 pre-workout of 2025. So that's it, guys. That is my list. I hope you enjoyed it. It was very, very hard for me to make this list. Like I said, there was probably 10 pre-workouts that I wanted to add on here, but I just couldn't do it. So whatever it is, guys, if I missed anything, if you feel like there was anything I didn't cover, make sure to leave it in the comments down below. And let me know if you think this list was done justice, if maybe there was something I should have added. I want to hear from you guys. What are your top 5 pre-workouts of 2025? Let me know. Wishing you all a happy new year. I hope 2026 is going to be great to all of you. I hope we'll crush it. Nate, I know we're all going to crush it. 2026 is going to be lit. Like the video, share the video, follow the Instagram at high-stim Ace, subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell notification to get all of my latest updates, and I will see you all next time for the next high-stim pre-workout review. Take care, everybody, and Happy New Year. High-stim Ace, signing off.